A Package Holiday to Kangaphin. Podcast voiced by Mr. Tenpup. Original post written by Henry Pottimer on March the 7th, 2011. Who? Justin Pancake. Where? Blue Dwarf. Parrots. When? During the chaos and the explosion. Justin hadn't been back aboard the Blue Dwarf long before he felt the explosion rock the ground beneath him, although he was far too drunk to even notice. He'd been drinking heavily and was telling the pretty girl next to him at the bar all about his week holiday on the Kangaphin homeworld. "The oceans were amazing," he slurred as he tried to recall the diving holiday he'd had. When he first arrived, he was one of the first tourists to see the beautiful ocean planet where the Kangaphins lived. They were so grateful to the Blue Dwarf crew for preventing their world from being dive-bombed by a large red mining ship leaking deadly amounts of cadmium-2, so they'd let some humans come to visit. The Space Corps welcomed the move. It was a cultural exchange, a chance to make a potential ally with a Gelf species, and to open the minds of the JMC officers who went. Unfortunately, sending Justin was a bad choice. At first he'd headed for the bar, but being an underwater colony, their way of consuming alcohol was rather different. You had to literally swim in it, and only drink a small amount at a time. But Justin gulped the lot down and was pissed in minutes. He then spent the rest of the holiday vomiting into those beautiful blue oceans, and being rude to the Kangaphins because they didn't make very good fish and chips, and there wasn't an Indian restaurant on the entire planet. Now he was back on the Blue Dwarf and his holiday was almost over. "Work starts in 6 hours, he said to the pretty girl who seemed interested in everything he was saying. He hadn't realised that it was because she was a fire extinguisher. He put his arm around her. "Oh, you're cold, love. Let me warm you up." The explosion knocked him off his seat, but he scrambled back on. "Whoops," he said, and laughed. People started rushing around him and bringing in dead and dying bodies, all with horrendous burns to their faces. Justin pointed and laughed. "Oh man, look at him. He's wasted." The tannoy announced what had happened, and Justin called for another drink. "Are you an engineer?" the barman asked him. Justin looked at his watch. "Not for another 6 hours. Give me another beer." "No way, mate," said the barman. "All engineers have to report for duty. I just heard it on the tannoy. We've been attacked." Justin tapped his watch. 6 hours, he grinned, and then fell backwards off his stool. That's when he noticed the seriousness of the situation around him. People were frantically busying themselves, either helping wounded or preparing materials to repair the damaged sections. "Justin," a voice called over to him. Justin pretended not to hear and sipped the dregs of his beer. "Justin Pancake." The man came over. It was a short man with gelled down hair and round glasses. "What do you want, dweeb?" Justin said, then laughed. "We need your help. Chief Engineer Callum Kachansky is dead." Justin blinked, then after a long time said, "Bugger. I'll drink to the daft old Scottish bastard." He raised his pint in a drunken way until someone took it off him. He slapped his face until he was almost sober. Okay, what do you want me to do?" The team of engineers showed him a map. "This is the engineering level. It's had multiple explosions. The clamps around the gyrothermometer have failed, and it's leaking thrombic abdoplasma into the lower decks. Someone needs to fix it." Justin blinked. "Thromboplasma what? No way, man, I'm not doing this." He started to walk away. "Kachansky's dead. He was my boss. I don't take orders from none of you." They all looked at him. "This is a really special job," someone said. "You'll be a hero," said another, patronisingly. Justin nodded and grinned. "Wow, I'll be a hero? Really?" "Yes," they lied, and thrust a welder into his hand and a map in his other. "So this trombone acupuncture," he said, walking to the express lift. Thrombic abdoplasma, someone corrected him. Yeah, what does it do? It's perfectly safe, said the nerdy engineer. But try not to let it touch you. It can cause facial disfigurement and extreme flatulence. Oh, great, he said as the lift doors closed. Intense, violent flatulence, someone said as the lift started to descend. But he didn't hear them. This podcast is a work of fiction and is in no way endorsed, approved, or even liked by the creators of Red Dwarf. For more stories and information, visit bluedwarf.co.uk.